Which film has the best car chase of all time? Ronin. Also best ambush with a cup of coffee. What color is the boathouse at Hereford? How the fuck should I know? Hugely underrated movie. It is underrated. My favorite 90s action movie together with Heat. I came here to say that. Really happy this was at the top of the list. Gregor fucked us. Came here just for this. Thank you. Bullet. I just watched Bullet for the first time. The car chase did not disappoint. I especially liked the mounted camera shots from inside the cars. The only answer. Right? I thought this was definitive. Also a chase involving two super cool cars. Big Block 68 Charger? Big Block 68 Fastback Mustang? Absolutely. Bill Hickman driving the Charger. I still think of him as I check my mirrors while driving. A real-life bad mofo. I recently learned Mr. Hickman was in the car with James Dean during that fatal wreck. Hickman and Kerry Lofton, two of the baddest mfers to ever drive back in the day. Heck yeah. I'm old now. Live way off in the woods, but still check my mirrors like Mr. Hickman, in Bullet, when I go to town. The Blues Brothers. If not the best, then by far the biggest. Came here to suggest the same one. Not that the rest of the movie isn't itself awesome as it is, but I always feel excited in the lead up to the car chase, especially watching it with someone new. It's just so much fun, especially the Nazis getting theirs by, further comment made unrecognizable. And that's only one of them. The shopping mall one early on is amazing too. The new Oldsmobiles are in early this year. I've always loved you. Lol, so surreal when that happens, smiley face. It certainly had the most destroyed cars. A lot of cars destroyed, and one watch. I think it set an unbeaten, as yet, record. Edit. Blues Brothers 2000 destroyed one more than the original. Transformers destroyed a shitload more, smiley face. Didn't Blues Brothers 2000 set the record? I thought so as well. Here's what I found on IMDb. 104 cars were wrecked during filming. This beat the previous record of 103 cars wrecked during the making of the Blues Brothers, 1980. This record was not broken until 112 cars were wrecked during the filming of G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, 2009. You're right, and the numbers just keep climbing. How come the record never goes down? Always more cars until they run out of cars to smash. I think you are right with Blues Brothers 2000 setting the record. You are right, by one car. But both have been surpassed now it seems. John Candy's police car crash landing on a moving semi. Which keeps going. I remember watching O.J. Simpson as a kid. It was so wild to watch it live on TV lol. Lamau you said film. I'm too high to Reddit. Goodbye, T2 with the bike and the semi. That was the first time in my life I learned what a chase scene was, and that it was a common staple of action films. The Matrix Reloaded. People shit on the Matrix sequels, not without justification, but the highway chase in the second movie is awesome. The whole second half of that movie is dope. Just start with that bladed weapons fight in the staircase room and let it run from there. It was also made using practical effects. Comment deleted by user. Especially when Furiosa drives the war rig into that sandstorm. Oh, what a day. What a lovely day. Nux was easily one if THR best characters. Witness me. Shine and Chrome. This is probably the correct answer for scale and FX. Great movie that is one big car chase. I would argue two chases. Hot Fuzz. Bang. 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 Blues Brothers already mentioned, so I'd say Ronin. I've read Blue Brothers a few times here. I haven't watched it since the 80s and I was under 10 years old. I might have to revisit. You really should. Bullet or The French Connection. To Live and Die in LA has a great chase scene too, Wrong Way on the LA freeway. The two best. Honorable mention to Capricorn 1. Oh, also Gone in 60 Seconds. The last bit was a good chase. Bill Hickman, stunt driver in both movies. Real life badass driver. Death Proof. Such a badass movie. Smokey and the Bandit. Hey boy, I'm looking for Sheriff Branford. Ooh, hee hee, for some reason or another, you sounded a little taller on radio. Born Identity. Born Supremacy, in Russia. Came here to say Born Supremacy. Second film in the series. That car chase was insane and was one of the first I've seen that I rewatched and was blown away each time. Does the John Wick 3 horse carriage scene count? The original Italian Job from '69. Starred Michael Caine and had a great car chase featuring minis in Rome. Blimey, can't believe I had to scroll down this far to find this. It was magnificent from start to finish, and even had lorries and motorbikes in it too. Correction, it took place and was shot in Turin. Ronin. How has nobody mentioned Eleanor in Gone in 60 Seconds? Because just mentioning Eleanor is enough to get you sued. Not anymore. Was looking for this. The original, where they used one car and has the most wicked hopping off the freeway and slide into a telephone pole wreck that hospitalized the director who was driving the Mach 1. The original Mad Max. The original is a little shaky, but Fury Road is definitely up there. This is the original, but I'm thinking you meant the second one? No, I mean the original, not Mad Max 2, aka The Road Warrior. Although the tanker chase is an awesome scene too, I prefer the one in the beginning of Mad Max when the main force patrol are chasing down the Knight Rider. As a kid, my favorite part is when he turns on the supercharger on the modified Interceptor and you hear all the air being sucked in before the car hauls ass. Ah, right on. I recently rewatched this one. I run into so many people who don't know this movie existed. It wasn't really popular in the United States because when it came here it was redubbed in American English because the producers in Hollywood didn't think that Americans would understand Australian slang too well. Needless to say, it didn't work, and Mad Max didn't really become popular until Mad Max 2 was made. The producers in Hollywood felt that since not many really ever saw the original Mad Max, not many would go to see a part 2. And that's why today in America it's mostly remembered as The Road Warrior. I watched the original 6 times in a row one day, while sick at home in bed with no cable TV and before the internet. Baby Driver and Tenet. Bell Bottoms. The 7-Ups. Kind of a French Connection sequel, which has the close second best chase. Man, when he crashed into that semi. Thank you. I totally agree. I love this one. Bullet or the French Connection? Let me join in the answers in the 1969 Steve McQueen movie Bullet, but there is another movie with actor Roy Scheider called The 7-Ups has a good chase scene. Ronin is considered the best by many. To Live and Die in LA. Wrong Way on the Freeway. Excellent choice. Search through to find this. Friedkin also directed The French Connection, which has an equally badass car chase scene. Come on. Vanishing Point. The whole movie was an amazing car chase. 1971. Driver takes a whole bunch of amphetamines and gets chased throughout the Southwest. The French Connection. What's Up Doc? Epic, through the streets of San Fran. Okay, that was pretty funny. Of the top of my head, the opening scene of Baby Driver is probably up there. With the switcheroo of 3 red cars below the bridge. And the way it starts with the river pointing forward and the driver starting in reverse. And the smooth drift in a long alleyway to avoid the trucks. The Blues Brothers. The French Connection. French Connection has a really awesome and gritty car chase scene. The Batman Batmobile chase scene comes to mind. Bourne. Duel. Way too unknown and underrated. Bad Boys 2, Causeway Chase, for its sheer insanity. Ronin, the chase with the M5 going through the tunnel. The Batman, 2022, chasing the Penguin. It's bikes and trucks, but the canyon pursuit in Mad Max Fury Road ought to qualify. I think it's called Fast and Curious. I think that's a porn movie. French Connection, considering they did not have a permit to film, and the streets were not blocked off to the public. Drive. Gone in 60 Seconds, remake. The Italian Job, remake. Hit and Run. Duel. The Rock. I'm only borrowing your Humvee. Vanishing Point. Vanishing Point for me as well. Cars. You did what in your cup? Classic. Skull, Skull, Skull. The Blues Brothers. Speed. Most of the best ones are taken, so I'll just add the French series of the Taxi movies, mostly because they are stupid fun. The American one was an absolute train wreck, and the last Taxi in the series was trash without the original cast, but there's something about Air dropping a Pueget over Paris to play tag with 3 Land Evos and a whole pile of Parisian police cars. The Driver, 1978. Bullet. I'd have to say the film Underground 6. The car chase was good, but the rest of the film was kinda boring. Not wrong. Great Escape. Though that was a motorcycle. Either Baby Driver, Bourne Identity, or one of the old 007 movies. Tomorrow Never Dies remains my favorite Bond movie because of how they use the car. Everything from Q acting as the rental agent when issuing it to him, to Bond launching it off the parking garage and directly into the rental place to return it. Just hilarious. The handcuffed motorcycle chase was also great. I feel like Bourne Identity was the first car chase that made me say wow, that was amazing. Baby Driver is an awesome film. I think if the name was different it would have been a bigger hit. The name made me ignore it for a while before I finally watched it. Goldfinger has my vote. The earlier ones were just boring, the later ones got too campy. Don't get me wrong, I love Timothy Dalton's laser rocket radar car in The Living Daylights and Pierce Brosnan's invisible remote-controlled force field vehicle in Die Another Day, but they were too ridiculous to be considered a good car chase. 007. Baby Driver. The original Gone in 60 Seconds. Pretty sure I read they filmed an actual robbery/police chase. The perps purposely copied the stunt cars. Transformers wasn't all terrible. Camaro vs Mustang scene was pretty neat. Death Proof. The French Connection. I believe most of the car chase was filmed without a permit on busy streets. Motorbike psychos chasing the car in the forest in Children of Men was pretty fucking amazing. Comment removed by moderator. Down in Australia, a bar in an old theater decided to show the original trilogy on the anniversary of the first movie's release. It got pumped up on some radio station, and a bunch of Mad Max fans decided they were going to head down in homemade apocalypse vehicles, in costume, from several different locations and ride out to the bar. Somebody had a tanker, and decided to join in the fun without telling anyone else. When the packs of riders came along the tanker driving all done up, they went nuts chasing it down the highway and reenacting the attack on the truck at 80 miles an hour. This was about noontime on a Sunday afternoon. Little old ladies driving home from church thought the end times were finally upon us and called the highway patrol in a panic. Police had no idea WTF was going on and called out all local police as reinforcements. The roads were shut down, guns were drawn, police were not amused. Many of the vehicles were unregistered and impounded. Some drivers had already cracked a few beers or were in possession of whatever, arrests made. When the few stragglers made it to the bar, they were informed that the movie studio that held the rights to Mad Max had sent a cease and desist order to stop the event because they had no contract allowing a public showing of the films. Total shit show. Matrix, Reloaded. The original Gone in 60 Seconds. French Connection. Gone in 60 Seconds. Dunno, Baby Driver's bell-bottom scene was cool. I have 3 things to say. 1. Baby Driver has the best car chases ever. 2. The Need for Speed film is underrated. 3. I love car chases, and I'm saving this post so I can read the comments next time I'm bored and don't know what to watch. I was actually impressed by the NFS movie. To Live and Die in LA. Italian Job. 2. The original Gone in 60 Seconds from 1974 holds a world record for most cars wrecked in a chase scene with 94. Bullet. Enough said. Eat My Dust. On Golden Pond. BMX Bandits. Bullet. The Blues Brothers. Cars 2. Bullet. Death Proof. Forza Horizon gameplay movies. Not that fun to play, but fun to watch. GoldenEye. The Bourne Identity. Bullet. Ronin. Gone in 60 Seconds, the 1974 original. The Blues Brothers. Dirty Mary Crazy Larry. You nailed it. Needs to be the original Gone in 60 to do the business. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. 3 films have extraordinary car chases: Bullet, To Live and Die in LA, and Gone in 60 Seconds. Bullet. Baby Driver. Baby Driver. Terminator 2. Anything but Fast and Furious movies. Smokey and the Bandit. If Justice had a Charger, yeah, he'd catch him, lol. Diamonds Are Forever. Rush. The Batman car scene sounds incredible. If you have a decent home theater set up, it will blow your socks off. Emo Nobody, the music, the car, the action, just a work of art. The Italian Job. The original one with Michael Caine. The best car chase ever. Jack Reacher, the car chase was well done. Sicario, Day of the Soldado, the ambush, and later in the film where the Mexican police chase the Humvees. I love the scene from Die Another Day. James Bond rescues Jinx from the icy castle. To Live and Die in LA. I like the one in Ronin starring Robert De Niro. Baby Driver. Duel. French Connection. Smokey and the Bandit. Cars 2, Cool Face. Seabiscuit. To Live and Die in LA. Best car chase ever, with a young Willem Dafoe as the bad guy. Bullet, with Beverly Hills Cop a close second. To Live and Die in LA. Maybe an underrated pick, but the convoy scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indy jumping from truck to truck beating up Nazis. Absolutely epic every time. Smokey and the Bandit 3. 1. The Blues Brothers, for a long while held the record for most cars destroyed in a movie. 2. The original Gone in 60 Seconds, 1974, it has a 40 minutes, no joke, chase sequence in which 100 cars get destroyed. Is one of the most realistic high-speed chases of all time. The man behind the move H.B. Toby Halicki was killed in a car on set while filming the sequel to Gone in 60. Also, most of the exotic cars stolen are from his personal collection. Tenet. I'm going after that truck. How? I don't know, I'm making this up as I go. The Transporter. Cars 2. How has nobody mentioned the Bond chase in the bus? I suppose technically not all cars in the chase, but still epic. Bad Boys 2. Spectre. Baby Driver opening scene. Both Black Panther movies. Maybe not the absolute best of all time, but the chase scene in Tangiers and the rhythm section deserves to be mentioned. The driver is in over her head, panicking and borderline incompetent. You only see the chase from the inside of her car, and it's all done in one shot. Cool stuff. Children of Men. Duel. Literally a car chase movie. The Original Gone in 60 Seconds. Black Panther. Gotta be a Bourne film. Thanks for the correction. Debbie Does Dallas. Of course you must replace car with cock in your question. I've heard those Fast and Furious movies are good for that reason. Haven't seen any of them, but it's pretty self-evident in the title what it's all about. Don't know if any of them have the best car chase of all time, though. Baby Driver. Baby Driver for show. Baby Driver. Honorable mentions: Baby Driver, Vanishing Point, Bullet or the original Gone in 60 Seconds, Toy Story, Bullet or the French Connection. Honorable mention: When the Chase E.T. and the Kids at the end of the movie. Dark Knight, Meet the Parents, Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. This is not technically a car chase scene, but Redline, 2009. Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drift. Wait. Did you say best or most mind-numbingly re-goddamn ridiculous awful worthless waste of film ever recorded? Blues Brothers. Mad Max, Fury Road. Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers. Blues Brothers. Bad Boys 2, the first chase where they sink a boat in the highway. Without a doubt, the absolute masterpiece that was the car chase in Moonfall. It added nothing to a movie that already made little to no sense and was completely ridiculous. I think I too developed moon terror watching that film. Terminator 2 without question. Cars. If someone doesn't mention the original Blues Brothers, I'm gonna flip my lids. Also the mandatory chase scene in any of the French Taxi movies. Fast and the Furious. First I was going to say Bullet, but Blues Brothers was such fun, haha. Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines had a very good car chase with a very unexpected ending. Underrated movie. We are no longer on the interstate. Now we're on the L. The original Italian Job. The chase through the OG Fiat factory along the rooftop racetrack. Yes, you read that right. Cars. And then Cars 2. That would have to be Mad Max, my friend. CNN live footage of the O.J. Simpson slow speed police chase. Oh wait, you mean fictional film? No idea. Baby Driver. Spice World, surely that counts. Baby Driver has some great ones. Vanishing Point. Baby Driver, among what I saw, is a scene from Bullet, but for sure, in half a century they have managed to shoot something that is at least as good as this. The Pick of Destiny. The one they haven't yet made about O.J. Simpson. Hands down, and it is not even close. Blues Brothers. Drive. The French Connection. Wanted. Shrek 2. Driver. Baby. I must say probably one of the Transporter movies, or all of them. Just one long car chase with intermittent moments of ass-kicking. To Live and Die in L.A. The original Gone in 60 Seconds. Blues Brothers, original one, in the mall. Baby Driver. The Peacemaker, 1997 movie. The guy being chased, Clooney, actually wants to be caught, to get back at the people doing the chasing. And it's a nice Mercedes v BMW on an European city. Blues Brothers. Blues Brothers is my favorite. The movie is full of entertaining and well-executed chase scenes. Even the insane stunts at the end fit in well. There was a scene that was cut from the final movie where the Bluesmobile is electrocuted by a power station, which was supposed to explain how it could do all the outlandish stunts. But in the end they decided that being on a mission from God was more than enough. Short Time is also very good. And the 7-Ups. Any chase where Bill Hickman is driving is going to be good. Parts of the 7-Ups chase was filmed in regular traffic. He liked to scare the actors who had to ride with him. The scared faces and flinching we see in the movie isn't always acting. Blues Brothers. The End. Book of Boba Fett, when the space hipsters on hover Vespas chase that comically bumblefuck Twi'lek, at a neck-breaking speed of like 30 miles per hour. Truly one of the chase scenes of all time, only rivaled by the one in Austin Powers. Isn't there one that's 90% car chase with Charlie Sheen where he kidnaps a girl and over the course of the thing the two fall in love? It's been ages since I watched it, but young and impressionable me really liked it. There's a Clint Eastwood movie, Deadpool, where he's being chased by a little toy car and it's actually quite compelling. And special mention to Jack Reacher. Short Time from 1990 gets no love, and has a fantastic chase scene for a comedy. Matrix had a good one, Terminator had a few. I think probably one of the James Bond movies. To Live and Die in LA. Terminator 3. The Blues Brothers. Baby Driver or whatever it was called. Red Subi doing pretty decent driving. Although a red WRX stands out in traffic so realistically it would only be a matter of time until they caught up to him. GoldenEye James Bond, Pierce Brosnan, racing around the hills in Monaco. The Italian Job. Terminator 3. Arnold gave back $2 million of his pay so they could do it. Blues Brothers.